guys, Roger Amrol with Bosch Tool Corporation North America. I'm extremely honored to be launching my third year of helping to support the Real Men Wear Pink Foundation with regards to the American Cancer Society. It's a disease that plagues many of our loved ones, and I'm honored to be able to help support a great cause. I'm equally honored to be able to align with our Women at Bosch group, who have done a great job of raising awareness on a variety of different issues. And I'm pumped because they asked me to do something that I really love to do, which is cooking. I think it brings family together, it brings people together. I think it's a great way to relax and add balance into your life. So I'm going to share with you today one of the easiest recipes I know, flank steak with a cutting board sauce. And it has some simple ingredients to include flank steak, some good olive oil, a couple of garlic cloves, serrano pepper, and cilantro. I'll walk you through it and kind of guide you how I enjoy spending time with family as we fight this horrible disease. Is get yourself a really good flank steak. Available from any of your local butchers or your local grocery store. I always like to go about 2 pounds in size. It's about an inch thick cut. And the first thing that we're going to do is do a dry brine. So as opposed to getting a fillet, what you want to be able to do is make sure that you cure this thing so it brings out the flavor in the meat. And we do that with a dry brine. So we start with a little kosher salt, and when I mean brine it, I mean really pour it on. You can actually even go that route. And you want to make sure that every single piece of this steak is covered. Wrap it on up. Throw it in the fridge for 30 minutes, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll. Take your peppers. I like to quarter them first, and then I go with just a fine chop. Same with your red pepper. You're going to see it doesn't take a lot of artistic flair. You can actually make a little bit of a mess. Once you've got all that, just go ahead and mix it up. Add a little bit of your favorite olive oil and let that marinate until we're ready to put that steak on. All right, we've got our steak continuing to dry brine in the fridge. We've rough chopped our ingredients on our cutting board. Just a couple things I like to do. I do use a cutting board with a channel in it. You're going to see why more later, but it tends to keep and hold the juices so they're not running all over the place. Another thing that you want to make sure you do is use a really good knife. And good knives come in all shapes and sizes, but the one thing that they all have in common is it's got to have a sharp edge. So make sure that you're just dressing your knife. That keeps the edge straight and clean. And then you're ready, guys, to rock and roll. Right, so cooking is all about time and temperature, which means you've got to be really prepared. Now, before I crack a beer and I head outside to put this on the grill, I want to make sure that I have no issues with getting this piece of meat on and off the grill. So make sure you've got your tongs ready, make sure you've got your platters ready. You don't want anything messing you up as you focus on your time and temperature. All right, we just got our steak out of the refrigerator. We're dry brining for 30 minutes. I'm going to rinse this off, and it's not just a light rinse. You really got to get all the excess salt off of this so you don't have that overly salty taste from the cooking. So real simple, just put the steak right in the sink. You can see how that brine has started to set in. We're just going to really take a minute or so and rinse this off. And you can feel how this has started to break down with the salt rub in the refrigerator. We just hit it with a couple tablespoons of good olive oil, hit it with some good cracked pepper, and it's ready for the grill. We're seasoned, marinated, and ready to go. All we got to do is pop this thing on. You see the flare up? That's good because you want a high heat so it seals in and sears the flavor in. And this is going to seem a little quick, but it's only 3 minutes, and we're ready to flip it. All right, guys, I just had enough time to crack my favorite beer and head to the grill to make sure I turn this steak because it's time for side 2. Turn this. The high heat gives it some great sear marks, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Another friend that never lets me down. This is my buddy Barkley, and he's going to help me take this steak off. So it's been on for a total of about 6 minutes. It's really not much. And then what you want to do is just take this, put it right on your platter. We're going to take it right inside, and I'll show you what we do. Right to our cutting board sauce, and all it's going to do to sit there and get beautiful. You want to tent this to keep the heat in, and it'll keep cooking just a bit, and then we'll revisit it about 10 minutes, slice it up, and we're ready to go. We're about ready to untent this thing. You're probably talking about sides. Typically I'll quarter some zucchini, salt and pepper them, put them on the grill, which is pretty healthy, but you can add anything to this. Thank you, Barclay. He's my biggest fan. The key when you untent this, you can see the juices are starting to flow, and this is ready for slicing. One tip I will give you, and make sure you do this, is when you're slicing this steak, you want to do it thinly and you want to do it across the grain. For those with discerning tastes, the more done pieces are certainly towards the edges, and then you get into the medium rare pieces of beef as you work towards the center. And it's going to make it work, but you definitely don't want to overcook it. And you can see that juice is really just flowing out of it. That's why it's so critical to have the cutting board with the channels in it to make sure that you don't lose any of that goodness. Last step, we've got our steak all sliced, and then it's simply a quick toss with some well-washed hands. You want to get all that juice incorporated back into the steak. After you've got that done, you're ready to serve. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today and taking a real look into what I like to do with my time in the kitchen with my family. So take a look at the link below, and if you can help support this great cause with the American Cancer Society, I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining me.